Here we go.
We've got some fresh new young talent
Luis.
doing some
And I am
things that
Luis.
I know you haven't
And
heard
welcome to
before.
the Content is Profit podcast.
In here, you're going to get the insights, accountability, and drive to create consistently and increase revenue.
You'll hear from top entrepreneurs, creators, and anything and everything you need to know about content. All this while having a damn good time.
The goal of this podcast is simple: to entertain, educate, and turn your content into profit.
Woo, baby.
Let's go.
Welcome, Fire Entrance. What's up, everybody? How are you doing today? Thank you for tuning into the episodes. FONZI, what are we doing today?
Guys, today we're actually discussing a new social media app and whether the one and only Elon Musk should buy this social media app instead of Twitter. Because, you know, Elon Musk is now pulling out of the deal. There's a whole drama going on in there. I find it very curious. The Twitter board at first didn't want Elon to buy it. Now he's saying no, and now the Twitter board is gonna sue him, so he buys the app. Drama, total drama.
He's playing hard to get.
Today we're gonna evaluate whether this new app is maybe a better deal for Elon Musk. Who knows?
Who knows?
You're gonna have to stick around.
Yes, if you want our opinion at the end, stick to the very end, which you want to hear. But, FONZI, I was going to ask you, do we have a sponsor today? Yes, you just heard from a pre-roll, and you're going to find a mid-roll in there from our amazing sponsors. But if you are enjoying these episodes, go ahead and follow the show. Remember, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we come and we join you in your favorite podcasting listening spot, so you can learn and get a ton of momentum.
That is right. And today's episode is a solo one. So if you are watching right now, make sure you drop the comments, because these are the episodes that we want to interact with you. We want to chat with you. So let us know you're here. Drop your name, drop your comments, and let's get in a conversation. Also, if today's episode helps you move one step closer towards your goal, please don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.
So tell me, FONZI, what's this new player in the App Store?
New player in the hood, not only in the App Store, in the hood,
in the
man.
social media hood.
Yes. So a few days ago, I was reading one of my favorite newsletters, The Published Press. Shout out to them. They're really, really good. And they talked about this new social media that is kind of, I feel, taking lately the world by storm. It was actually founded in 2020, but it is now gaining some traction with millions of downloads. The app is called BeReal. And just as the name says, it's literally a social media to show the real side of people.
Isn't that what all social media is, though?
I don't know, man.
That was a very sarcastic question, FONZI.
I know. I think that's what they claim to be, but obviously, I think, people have tweaked it a little bit, and that could be a whole conversation by itself. But this is what the website of the app BeReal says. Your friends for real. Every day at a different time, everyone is notified simultaneously to capture and share a photo in 2 minutes. A new and unique way to discover who your friends really are in their daily life. Interesting concept.
Who your friends really are.
I know.
I love that. I
read that, I was like, bro, they're throwing rocks over here.
I know. I mean, if you've been a fan of the show, if you've listened for quite a while, you understand, and you know that we love live content. The reason that we do the podcast live is for that part of uniqueness, right? And there's no filter, really. And at the end of the day, for us, it helps us execute and be present and be consistent and serve our audience, right? So I think like when I got access to this app, it was very refreshing. I've tried it maybe for like a week or so. They tell you take a photo in the 2 minutes whenever you receive the app. I've been late every single time.
Well, I'm still waiting for today's notification. I haven't received it yet. So
I know,
but
so I'll describe a little bit. And if you have your phone right now, we have no affiliate link, no other. If you want to install it, great. But
I mean, it's a free app on the App Store.
It is a free app on the App Store. Basically, it asks you to take a picture right there in there whenever you are. The time is completely random. I've gotten the times in the morning. I got the notification at night. And really, what you got to do is just point your camera and shoot. And it does 2 pictures. One in the back camera and one in the front camera. So it actually takes a picture of your face as well. So what I've seen in like the Discover tab is a lot of people kind of moving that second camera, or like, taking their hands and putting it on their face. I don't know why people don't want to show
I think
all of their face.
Some interesting facts about the use of the app is that it doesn't really allow you to write a very long caption on the picture. It has to be something like short and sweet.
Like a quick comment. Yeah.
I do like the reactions on the app. When you're going to send a reaction, instead of sending an emoji, you actually take a picture of your face And you can see like the tiny bubbles, the tiny reactions of people, whether they're smiling or, you know, laughing, whatever it is. I think that is very refreshing.
I do love emojis, man. I don't know.
I mean, I like emojis too, but I think that makes it very interesting. Now, some interesting facts about the app to consider, just so we can have some context on this conversation, right? Again, the app was founded in 2020, but they recently, I think about a year ago or so, they got funded for $30 million by, you know, some big investors.
It is not an American company. It is a French company.
It is, yeah. The founders are French. But I do find it obviously interesting that they got, you know, $30 million in investments because obviously, like any other social media, they're going to eventually try to monetize this thing. So that is one of the questions that we're going to explore here a little bit. But let's talk about the value of authenticity.
Well, before that, right, like the daily downloads of the app have grown by 315% since January. That's crazy. And this is like in 6 months, it's been that is very rapid growth. This is NBC News.
How do you think they did it? How do you think they grew that fast?
Well, when I first read about the app, I think word of mouth has been massive, right? I think it's also the adoption of BeReal in the US. US is one of the biggest markets like for these type of apps. So that's started in Europe, right? It got some fire there. And then when it came here to the States, it transformed into that. So
you think they've advertised it?
I don't know.
Like pay newsletters or stuff like that?
Well,
you get it in front of people?
You did find it in a newsletter, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember if it was a paid part of it. But those newsletters, they do make a really good job of like hiding their promotions.
I think also the message of the app, right? Like we talk about throwing rocks at your competitors or the messaging on your competitors, more of a marketing level. So this BeReal app is clearly fighting apps like Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat and or even TikTok, right? At some degree, there's no video on BeReal yet that we know of. But it's more about capturing the moment, right there in there when the app tells you. And it's a very different take on social media. I mean, the second you think there's no other new concept in this field, this thing comes up, right? Yeah. And the possibilities, right? We've heard about apps like Vimeo. No, not Vimeo. The video one that was 6 seconds, where Logan Paul became
Vine.
Wow. Vine, right? And then that evolved and it got sold and then it tickled out. But in a sense, right? Probably made a lot of people money, but a lot of creators came out of that 6 second video loop app that people started using. So I'm very curious on how this is going to evolve for people actually, setting up their day, maybe, and recording these moments.
Yeah. So actually, let's skip about over the authenticity part because I think everybody obviously knows the value of being authentic, and I think it's been talked a lot, especially in the business world, B2B, social media. Kind of like be yourself, show your brand, you're part of your brand. But let's talk about some of the pros and cons of this app. Of the usage. First that I see is, but through their positioning, like you're talking about, and their message, it's clear that they want people to not consume as much. Obviously, share their authentic self, their real self. But I think that is, depending on the point of view that you're watching it under, if you're watching it as a business, you want people to be there and have the eyeballs, right? Like all these apps, they just want you to consume and stay on your app, right? If you put links that take you outside, it is proven that they penalize those posts, all these things. But this app takes the position of, we just want you to limit your time in social media, right? So it's pretty much taking that stand against consume. And it's more of, hey, quickly share what you're doing right now. And then that's about it, right? No necessity to stick too long. Actually, most of your posts are private, that only your friends can look. And you have the option to make them public so other people can scroll and watch them. Yeah. But again, the posts are kind of like, I scroll for a little bit and there's not that much kind of like dopamine hitting you because it's very unfiltered pictures, right? There's nothing like entertaining and crazy like that. So the usage is cut short and you leave the app pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think it has an effect, right? Because we read that the notification about taking the picture is going to come up at the same time if you're friends with each other, right? So it'll be like, okay, if we are all friends and we have friends all over the world, right? And we take this one picture at the same time, it would be cool to see like what everybody's doing at the same time, right? So, but if you look at it as a business opportunity, right, or as an influencer, right, that you're always crafting that message, always crafting that content to optimize for views or downloads or call to actions or whatever that is. This really doesn't present the opportunity unless like you live and breathe whatever you do, right? And as you move forward, right, there's some tasks and different things that you delegate to your team, or the things that are automated, right? You set up systems and processes for your content, right? And maybe this is the one transparency thing that I think it could be like either very bad for some people, but for others that really want this transparency and play that card can be really positive, right? Because like, look, I am a guy that I just legit hang out with my kids. I go play sports. I go play video games. I record this podcast. So this is a little window of a day that people can really see you, right? Like if you're part of that, and I think that has a lot of value. Yeah. A lot of sometimes what stories started doing when they first came out, and then it transformed into this whole commercial thing.
Yeah, I see it as an opportunity, like you said, to build a little bit more trust, but on the top of funnel sense of the way as well. Like we all know TikTok is a top of funnel community, right? Yes, they've been, now trying to do the 10-minute videos, implementing the stories, all these things because they want people to stay in TikTok longer. But most people are always redirecting to their YouTubes, their Instagram, their websites, whatever. There's a high opportunity to achieve virality on TikTok. So obviously people are using that as top of funnel. How do I see this? I see a little bit of that, of the top of funnel. I don't see the virality because they're keeping it so private. Still too early. But I see it more as a top of funnel trust building where people could see like, whoa, I see that the pictures from this person are always in crazy places. Who's this guy? Right? Like, let me check it out a little bit.
Yeah.
Again, discoverability so far, I don't think it's that great.
I think it's like more...
It's too early.
People are going to levitate to what they already like and what they already do. So, for example, if... let's say we're big fans of soccer, clearly, and wearing a soccer jersey right now. If a player starts, taking pictures of, and I start seeing soccer fields or that environment, I'm going to levitate to follow that person, right? Or continue to dig into more of their daily things because that's something that interests me, right? Like if you are a super fan of podcasters, like you are listening right now, right? And you want to know about our daily lives, you can do that. Now, this also fights the creator side of things because if you're a creator, a lot of the fears becomes it coming from an internal place, right? Am I ready to share these moments? Am I ready to like do this? And for the longest time, we fought that, right? And we see it every single day in the community.
Yeah. What if you get the notification when you're in the bathroom?
Picture of the floor for sure.
Number two.
Picture of the floor for sure.
Picture of your toes and half your face.
That would be hilarious. Yeah, that would be hilarious.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about will BeReal thrive as an app, right? How can they potentially monetize this? Again, they got investments, meaning these people want their money back and they want to make some money. So how can they monetize this? They're going to try to find a way, right? That's why most social media, other, dead social medias have failed, right? Again, we talked about Vine. They didn't know how to monetize that. The dead.
Yeah.
DEAD, dead.
So a couple of articles that we found, including, onlineoptimism.com, right? They're always citing the community guidelines, and advertising at the moment is not allowed in the platform, right? So is keeping it legit, like real, right? Because once advertising, okay, there's loopholes.
No. I'm going to say, I think they want to keep it as clean as possible to increase their user base, of course. First.
Absolutely. And, there's ways around as a creator, right? Like you could, let's say, there's a certain energy drink brand that I keep showcasing here on the podcast. Come on, sponsor us. But let's say like all my pictures is showcasing that can, right? Maybe, right, is where, we carry that 24/7. That could be a sponsorship opportunity. Now, legit advertising on the app where people can place ads is not allowed at the moment, or explicit content where like, hey, come shop this, right? Call to actions and something like that. I think that will get you all banned. But as far as like what the company is doing for it, yes, absolutely. Investment up front. They want to grow their user base. That's how these tech companies go. And I'm sure like they're probably going to sell to somebody at some point. And
I mean, this is what I'm thinking either. Of course, like the three ways so far that we know of monetizing this type of apps is either ads to businesses, right? So what is there going to be a commercial little, kind of like an ad pop-up as you scroll through the app eventually? Who knows? They can charge the users, right? So we know communities are huge now in social media. So could you potentially have the ability of building a private community that your pictures are only shared with that private community? And then for people to be part of that community, they have to pay and they get a percentage of that, kind of like Patreon, right? For example. Or are they going to go behind the back of their people and sell the data? Because that's another way they could make money,
Dark
right?
side. I mean, BeReal, don't do that. Don't do that.
They could be selling data on locations, right? Like where people are taking their pictures. Who knows? I don't know exactly what that entails. I think we need to do some research in there.
Mapping out the entire world with all the pictures that they are taking.
Mapping out your bathroom.
Mapping out your bathroom. The throne. But yes, I think it's still too early, right? The growth is massive, right? 315% in 6 months. Yeah. That's pretty awesome.
This is what I was going to say. Marketers are resourceful. So they will find a way to advertise regardless of whether you can or not, whether the guidelines say you can. Like, I already thought about it. I'm like, because my first thought, I'm like, okay, I'm working a lot of the time during the day or we're doing the podcast. Yeah. So I have a screen in front of me. Like, all my pictures might just look with a freaking screen inside. But what if
Could be a hidden message?
Exactly. Hey. What if I keep like notes and I pop it up and then, people realize that there's like secret notes, like a secret opt-in page. Like, hey, go check out this page. And then people are like, ooh. Right, like gamify it a little bit.
The Batman after scene.
Yeah, kind of like the Batman after scene. Yeah, so I do think marketers are going to find resourceful ways to make this work in their favor.
I mean, the stat as in April in 2022, this year, right, is almost 3 million people, daily active users, which is, clearly comparing it with a juggernaut like Facebook is probably nothing, but it's still pretty awesome. There's a lot of people out there that are using it. And then there's also people talking about it like us, for example, and this is going to drive attention. But as far as the marketing behind it, I think creators are going to get creative.
Creators are gonna get creative. I like that line. That's actually kind of cool.
Creators are creative, and they're gonna figure out a way on how to monetize this, right? Like as far as the app, like it could be, you could potentially have a brand profile, right? And then you share all the behind the scenes around that brand, right? So,
well, no, because businesses are not allowed. So you cannot open a brand
in the future. In the future, my goodness.
Got it.
But I imagine, like for example, you follow your favorite, I don't know, clothing brand, for example, right? Or let's say you follow your creators, like Yes Theory, right?
Like BizzBros.
Or like BizzBros. That's right. Good job, Fonzie.
Yeah. You gotta plug us in there, bro.
Absolutely. And then they show like what's the day in the factory, what's the day in the content creation side of the factory.
This is the factory.
This is the factory, guys. If you're listening,
this is the factory.
The factory. Like Welcome to the factory. Well, we talked about the garage when we are about to purchase that garage, but thank God we didn't.
Yeah, Le Garage.
Stories
for another day. Tangent alert.
Yeah. All right, close this out, Fonzie. Close this out.
All right. Well, we just gotta discuss whether this is a good investment for Dogecoin king Elon Musk or not, right? Should he buy BeReal instead of Twitter?
Absolutely, dude. Like 100%, especially now.
Why do you think he should buy it?
Okay, so this is like a healthier version and more evolved version of Twitter, right? Twitter, you can...
What? I don't see that.
Okay, so Twitter, like it's a word. So clearly picture is evolving from words. Absolutely, 100%. You get more information that way.
Of course, I agree.
Also, Twitter, like you do it whatever you want, so it's not real, like whatever. Like it is real because you read the tweet, but it's not like it's curated. That's what I mean. And this presents a massive opportunity, right, for Elon. Also, if Elon buys right now, BeReal, it's gonna come in the news massively because he said no to Twitter, and Twitter is like fighting that. So news are gonna be all over, be like Elon Musk ditched Twitter for BeReal. Say what? And then all these people are gonna install BeReal right away, and then the stock price and the value of BeReal is gonna go through the roof.
Yeah. So
he's gonna make a ton of money.
My take is no. I don't think he should buy it at all. So
no.
Yeah, no. I don't think Mr. Elon should buy this app. At least as of right now. First, it lacks proof of concept. Yes, 7 million total users sounds massive, but think about it. Like these apps have billions of users, that have stayed in the apps for multiple times, and then the main argument here is that when Elon went to buy Twitter, he said that Twitter was like the central plaza of the town where people would go and share the ideas and have conversations, which if you look at BeReal is more like the coffee shop where you go, drink a cup of coffee, and then you leave, right? Because it's not meant to keep people on the app. It's just like snap the picture and then that's it. It's like the poster on the plaza.
I don't think that's the play there. The play for BeReal is another bet in a platform that could become huge.
I agree. Of course, they want it to become huge, but I don't see the similarities of what. So like Elon wanted to buy something that could incentivize conversation. I see BeReal more as an incentive of connection, with the people that you want to follow, that you want to stay close with, but not necessarily
look at this application
sharing of ideas. Twitter has controversy all over. It's like, boom, you see, I don't want to get political, but you see like one side of the political spectrum posting something and you read the comments. Bro, that thing is war down there. Literally war.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Sounds good.
What do you think? What do you think? Let us know.
Do you agree with Fonzie? Do you agree with me? Let us know. If you haven't played with the app, go play. Add us as friends. You'll see what we do every single day. The other day, I took a screenshot of my PlayStation screen with my new racing gig.
Ooh.
I'm so obsessed. Anyways,
I know.
Super fun stuff.
I was kind of hoping that we get a notification as we were doing the podcast. So
maybe we got it.
So we
No, we
had to
didn't.
take a picture while we were doing this.
I know. We just leave the screen on and wait for the notification. But
That's it.
anyways, I think that's the episode. It was fun. Let us know. Do you agree with us? Do you do not agree with us? Do you have the app? Don't have the app?
Well, we got two different point of views. So do you agree with Luis though? Or do you agree with Fonzie? And we go back to hashtag
Pick a bro.
That's good.
Yeah. All right, guys. With that, thank you so much for tuning into the Contents Profit Podcast. Go ahead and follow your show in your favorite podcasting platform and on social media at BizBROS.
Maybe share it on BeReal, guys. And if you enjoyed today's episode, please don't forget to share with somebody. And, of course, leave a 5-star review. See ya.
Bye, guys.